Hello. I have a hankering for some sausage rolls, but not just any sausage rolls. Oh, no. I want some vegetarian sausage rolls. Now, please note, I'm not vegan or vegetarian, but I have a whole bunch of friends who have different dietary requirements, including a good friend who's a pescatarian, which means only fish. Don't really fancy having a fish sausage roll. Don't think there's such a thing. I could ask ChatGPT, but nah, let's just do vegetarian. So anyway, welcome to my channel. My name is Mundy and this is my AI air fryer adventures. I've asked ChatGPT for a recipe, a vegetarian recipe for some sausage rolls, and this is what it's come up with. It's going to be eggplant and black beans. So hopefully it'll be delicious. We'll find out a bit later on. But in order to get started, firstly, I will tie my hair back so we don't get any, hair in the food, because that would be gross. And I will adjust my camera and we can get started, except I will say welcome if you're new here, and if you're returning, welcome back. Now I'll do the camera thing. So the first thing I've done is I have diced my eggplant. It's a medium-sized eggplant. I've also chopped my half an onion, but you didn't need to see me do that because that's boring. And now we mix these things together with a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just going to eyeball it because basically we just need to toss it, and I guess it needs to be coated in the olive oil. Yeah, that's about right. And now I will toss this in my bowl and then put it into a silicone liner, and according to ChatGPT, I air fry it for at 180 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes, shaking halfway until soft and caramelized. So I will do that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on for say 6 minutes, because for those of you who have returned, you will know that I think that my air fryer runs a little bit hot. So here is the silicone tray. I'm hoping that everything is, coated enough in olive oil, but I'll put it in the air fryer and show you what it looks like after 6 minutes. It's been 6 minutes. They're definitely cooking, but I would not call them caramelized or brown at all. So I think I will put it in for the other 6 minutes. They've done their full 12 minutes and I'm just testing it with a fork, and I would say that that's pretty cooked. So I'm just going to go, yep, that'll do it. 12 minutes and they're done. Now I need to put them in the food processor, but I think they're going to be very hot and I don't want my plastic to melt. Bear with. It's a delicate operation, let me tell you, removing the liner from the air fryer and not getting burnt. But we managed that. But anyway, I'm going to start the next part of the process and putting things in the food processor. Let me move that there. I shall move food processor here so you can actually see what I'm up to in terms of ingredients and such things. Come on. There we go. Right. So because the eggplant and onion is very hot, I'm going to put the black beans in first, and I need half a cup of drained black beans. So there we go, that will do. Now I'm going to put the mixture in, just carefully because it's a bit hot. You're going to get your served vegetables anyway making this recipe, so that is not necessarily a bad thing. Right, that's done. Next ingredient in there is some soy sauce and some tomato paste, a tablespoon of each. So I've got my soy sauce here, 1 tablespoon, and some tomato paste concentrate. Lovely. That will do it. Just make sure we get it all out. There we go. Right, and I also need to add a whole bunch of spices, but I did get soy sauce on me. Bear with. I need a tablespoon of teaspoon. Read the instructions, woman. All right, teaspoon of smoked paprika. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano or oregano, depending on where you're from. 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. Now, tablespoon thingy is a bit yucky, so hold on. We'll eyeball it with this. 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. Now, it is optional, but I think I would like to have something that's very full flavored, so I'm going to put it in. And I think that's all the things at the moment. Yes. Now, according to the instructions, I have to pulse it until combined, but not a paste. I want it textured like sausage mince. So this is noisy, so I'll do that here and then show you what it looks like. I've pulsed it, and it's still got quite a bit of texture to it, but I do have a few more ingredients to add, so potentially it might be less noticeable that, oh gosh, there's bits of, well, whatever they are. Anyway, I now have to add some breadcrumbs and 2 to 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. So let's do 2, because I can always add another one if necessary, but I can't take it away. Put that there. Now, remember I said that I'm not vegan. These are vegetarian. So I am going to put in 2 tablespoons of parmesan cheese that I've grated, but you can leave those out, and then this recipe will be vegan. I need to have a good bit of cracked black pepper and salt to taste, although I'm actually tempted to leave that out because we have put a bit, don't mind me just getting my salt. We have put a whole bunch of soy sauce in, but oh look, I put some in. You do you. All right, I don't like too much salt. Now I'm going to pulse it again, and also I need to let you know that I have taken my puff pastry out of the freezer only while I was in the middle of doing this. You don't want it to be completely thawed out, but you don't want it to be totally frozen, otherwise it will snap. I'm going to pulse this back in a minute. I think, not that I'm an expert sausage roll maker at all, but I think that that's not too bad. I think that's not too wet. It does seem to be fairly combined. So I think I'm going to, remove it from its little food processy thing, and now actually put it onto the rapidly thawing sausage roll sheet. Now, according to ChatGPT, I can add another teaspoon of breadcrumbs if I think it's too wet, but I actually really do think that's pretty darn good. And actually it comes away pretty cleanly, so yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Now I can spoon the filling in a thick, long log along one side. So let's do that. I will do that. That's what I'm really trying to say. It's quite a lot of it, actually. And to be honest, it does look quite sausagey, really. So, you know, here's hoping this recipe works. It's always a surprise to me because, you know, I haven't done this before. Right, so I'm going to, now I have options. I can roll it tightly with the seam side down. And then I can brush it with some milk, and you can do plant-based if you want to. I just have normal milk. And then I can score it diagonal cuts on top, and I can cut into 4 rolls or keep whole. I don't know whether I could keep it whole because I'm not too sure it will fit. So maybe we'll do it in 2. Oh, it's an adventure, isn't it? Right, anyway, let's roll. Easier said than done. Like I said, no expert in making sausage rolls at all. Would I go double? Oh, look, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not totally au fait with all of this, but let's just squish it down. And then, do I put it in this? Oh, why not? I am going to cut it because I think it's just not going to do its thing very well at all. It'll be far too big. So it's going to be, I think that'll have to do. I'm going to brush it with some milk. And what does it say? Place the seam side down. All right, let's do that. I can probably hear howls of no, that's not what you do. But yes, you know, I know this, but, well, actually, I don't know this. I've not made this before, and I'm not good at sausage rolls because I haven't done them too many times before. But I will score diagonal lines on top. Let's do this. Right, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Right, and now I need to air fry it for 14 to 17 minutes at 180 degrees until deeply golden and crisp. Okay, I will do the checking thing after about 12 minutes because, as you know, I'm not completely convinced that my air fryer is actually accurate. But they look reasonable, you know, so far. Back in about 15 with an end result that's hopefully edible. It's beeping. It's been 15 minutes. I have been checking it periodically because, as you know, I don't trust it because I'm sure it runs hotter, but I believe it's golden brown and scrumptious. Check that out. Check that out. Doesn't that look lovely? I'll adjust the camera now. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. I think it's all, you can hear it. It's got a crisp to it. So that's awesome. Now, I also asked ChatGPT for a little sauce. Now, apologies, this is vegetarian, not vegan, but you can always change it by using vegan yogurt. But I've got 2 tablespoons of yogurt, 1 tablespoon of sweet chili sauce, a teaspoon of mustard, and some lime juice. And I'm just going to mix that, and that's going to be our dipping sauce for these rather delicious looking sausage rolls. Now, it's going to take me a little while to, you know, extract this without burning myself. That's just one thing wrong with this thing. It's a bit tricky. Anyway, I'll arrange it nicely, and then I will sit down and actually, I might chop it in half and taste a bit and let you know what it's like. All right, Houston, we have a problem. My bottoms are not quite cooked. So, I think that was with the tongs. Right, so I think I'm going to have to possibly tip it upside down. But remember when I wrapped it round, I did a double thing. So I think it's my bad, not the recipe's bad. But the pastry is not quite cooked, so I'm going to put it back in again, but I'll sort of tip it upside down for a few minutes. Here's hoping. All right, another 3 minutes upside down and its bottoms are cooked. I think I'd be happy to eat that now. So this is how I did it last time, right? So it's still deliciously golden brown and lovely and not burnt. But I think I made the mistake because I'm not an expert sausage roll maker, vegan, vegetarian, or otherwise at all. And I think I made the mistake of doubling over the pastry. The other thing that could be a bit of an issue is the fact that it was in a silicone liner and it didn't get enough of the, air fry air through. So perhaps a parchment paper liner might be better. And also, or just putting it directly into the basket, although it might be messy. But anyway, that's what I can come up with. Now I'm going to arrange it prettily, make myself a cuppa and taste it. Okay, it's time. Will it taste any good? I think it looks pretty nice. I've chopped it up. It definitely is, a very big serving. I would probably serve it with some nice green salad and obviously this dipping sauce. So I'm now going to test it without the dipping sauce. Here goes. It's so really hot. It's got a lovely texture. It really does. It's not quite the same as, it's not like a sausage meat, but it's got a very nice texture. You can definitely taste that it's not meat, but it's delicious. The dipping sauce is very tasty. Yes, for a vegetarian / almost vegan sausage, I'd be quite happy to pay for this in a shop. Yes, I would. I would recommend this one. It's not quite as awesome as the decadent chocolate cake thing, but she says, waggling her fork, don't mind me. I would say you need to give this a go. This is very, very nice indeed. So yes, thank you very much for joining me today. And please like, share, subscribe, all of those sorts of things. I will obviously remind you about the times because, my air fryer is not as, just check your times, okay? You don't want the thing to burn. Also, remember it is either vegan or a vegetarian option, depending on whether you add the parmesan cheese or not, and also with the dipping sauce if you make it with coconut yogurt instead. What else? No, I think that's probably about it. Like I said, I will put the recipe in the description below. I will also put a link there to a book that I've got. Actually, yes, bear with. Something I've prepared earlier. It's called Recipes Worth Keeping. You can buy this on Amazon. I will leave the link below. And you can write your own recipes in it. And if you think this one is worth keeping, do feel free to write it in here. There you go. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.